Looking for a carnivore diet breakfast plan? Well, let's start on the right foot. Hey, what's shaking bacon? My name is Bruno Panucci. I hope you're doing well. So this will be a pretty quick video because there's not really a lot of information to go over in this one because it's going to be about breakfast. How to make an affordable breakfast for yourself when you're doing carnivore. Because the thing is, you can make carnivore as complicated as you need to for whatever reason that might be. Maybe it's because you're troubleshooting, or maybe it's just because you want to experiment with something new. But what most people love about carnivore is its simplicity. It can get a little redundant, but if you're fine with that, then what's the problem? Now, you might be living with someone that requires some variety in their carnivore diet, and that's understandable. So I'm going to present you with a few ideas that aren't really that original, to be honest, but they're things you can do for affordable breakfasts. Restaurant food has gotten horribly expensive, and breakfast was always a really affordable meal to go out and get at any restaurant. And the thing is, I'm also a big eater. So if I go out for breakfast at a restaurant and I want to get an omelet with some extra eggs and just a few slices of bacon, I'm looking at $20 easy. Just for breakfast. Now, I've always been one of those guys up until around COVID. Breakfast was always a very affordable breakfast. It was like $8 to $12 to get breakfast anywhere. You can go to a buffet and get breakfast for $15 at some places, and that was considered kind of expensive. But you had a buffet and as much as you can eat. So if you have affordable buffets around where you live, that's something you can give a shot. So if you feel like eating out, that's an affordable way to go. But what I like, a cheaper way to do that, a much cheaper way, is you can go to Costco and for under $9, and this is $9 Canadian, so I'm sure American it's comparable, you can get 30 eggs for $9. That's still going to be affordable, way more affordable than what you would get at a restaurant. And also you don't have to worry about them using seed oils to prepare the food. You can actually cook it in your own butter. So you can make your own eggs and bacon. You can get a package of bacon. I paid $22 for 4 packs of 500 grams of bacon. So that's over 4.5 pounds in one big package. And it's 4 packages all in one. So you can take each package out and maybe split that between, let's say if you're a big eater, 3 meals. 3 meals for that 1 pack of bacon. And you can have, 6 eggs if you're a really big eater. So 6 eggs and a third of a pack of bacon. You're looking at about $1.50 worth of eggs and $3 worth of bacon. It doesn't really take much time to do because eggs and bacon are nice. It's the kind of thing you can put on low and walk away from for a few minutes at a time while you're doing other things in the morning. You don't have to stand over it unless you're cooking it really high, which I don't recommend. Put it on a medium temperature and just walk away. Do other things, brush your teeth, do whatever you need to do during your morning routine while the eggs are cooking on the stove. You can scramble it to make it easier, or there's so many varieties when it comes to eggs of ways to cook it that will give you some variety in the morning so you don't get bored. You can prepare it many different ways. If ever you get bored of doing scrambled, you can just go to whatever way you like it, over easy or just hard yolk. Traditionally, what I like doing for breakfast, which is the easiest, it's a little more expensive, but cold burger patties. I'll make a batch of burgers, put them on the barbecue, and I'll probably do about 2 full racks of burgers on the barbecue. If you get the meat on sale, say a lean ground beef, I might be looking at about $5 a pound, maybe about $4 a pound if I get it on sale. And I can cook a lot of burgers. And the nice thing about burgers is I like them fresh. I like them hot. That's what's really nice. But cold or room temperature, I still really enjoy them. So on top of having them in the fridge for breakfast for easy access, you only have to do batch cooking with this if you want. So you can make it as simple or complex as you want. You can just cook it each day. You fry it, it makes a bit of a mess, but also for some reason, I just don't like fried burgers as much as I do burgers on the barbecue. But regardless, when they're cold, I find it's all the same. And I can just take it out of the fridge whenever I want. If I want a snack, there's always burgers in the fridge. The nice thing about having burgers on hand is they're not just good for your meals. You don't have to worry about taking a lot of time to prep it. You can also pre-prep some of those burgers in separate little baggies. You can just have your own prepared bag for when you need to go. So the nice thing about that is you get to prep that early and you get to have these meat cookies, as Kelly Hogan loves to call them. You can have them ready for breakfast. So breakfast can be a really easy meal in the morning. What I do every now and then lately is I'll get a roasted chicken. and I'll get a roasted chicken. I'll just have a late breakfast, and I might have it at around 11 o'clock when they're ready at the grocery store. Honestly, I eat it like a caveman. I just dig right in, and I take the whole leg off with one big hand, and I just mow down on that chicken leg. And I take the other chicken leg, and I just mow down on that chicken leg too. It takes me a little while, but it's a simple breakfast, more like a brunch, and it makes life easy because I'm usually full for the rest of the day. I can eat dinner later on, but if I have that same volume of food and red meat, I, one, can't finish that, and two, I'm satisfied guaranteed till the rest of the day. Unless I'm doing a workout, an aggressive workout later in the day, I'm typically good when I have red meat for breakfast. Red meat will typically be a good staple to keep you satiated all day. So if you're looking to go down to one meal a day, don't torture yourself and do that with other foods like eggs and pork, because it'll get you through most of the day without being hungry. But I always believe you should eat whenever you are hungry on carnivore. If you can have, say, chicken in the morning and it lasts you all through the day as far as how satiated you feel, and you don't feel hungry later in the day, and then you feel like you're depriving yourself, then go with it. Now, you have to also ask yourself, are you going to be having lunch or dinner? Most carnivores have often between 1 to 2 meals a day. Some people might have a little bit more depending on their work schedule. And most people, I find when you ask them, they're 1 or 2 meals a day. So it's a simple way of eating on carnivore. It's very affordable. It's carnivore on a budget. You start off on the right foot with breakfast, and the rest of the day is good. If you want to try and lower your blood sugar, a good way to do that is in the morning, have your breakfast a little earlier. The only problem with that is if you're not eating later in the day, you might wake up in the middle of the night with a bit of a cortisol bump, which increases your blood sugar and kind of wakes you up at around 3:30 or so in the morning. You ever have that where you just wake up and you're like, why? Why am I wide awake? Often that's a cortisol issue. Cortisol and blood sugar issue. Your blood sugar got so low because it's been too long since you've eaten, or you've been eating too lean, or you just haven't been eating enough that it wakes you up. So I want to make sure you're doing this, but doing it wisely. Tell me what you have for breakfast. Some people might have sausages in their breakfast. The reason why I don't include sausages on this list is often there's like carbohydrates and fillers in sausages. So unless it's your own homemade sausage, which by the way, if you do yourself, you can get dirt cheap. It's the way to go. So that way you can have bacon and eggs. You can have eggs and sausage. You can have eggs and steak. Replace the meat with whatever you want to go along with the eggs. Years ago, it was normal to have steak and eggs for breakfast. I'm talking decades ago. It was normal. Cereal was children's food. Now they found a way to market it to adults. So we're off cereal. We're not doing that as carnivores. So we're just sticking with meat. Don't forget, it's not uncommon to have lots of leftovers in your fridge. Always cook extra so you have future meals sitting there waiting in your fridge. So let me know what you do for breakfast. It's pretty simple. It's a good simple meal of the day, but you can also make it complicated depending on how fancy you want your breakfast to be. So thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate your support. Once again, let me know what you guys do for breakfast out there. Take care.